18 o'clock 4, and here is 2 minutes 4 instead of this 6 weeks after 18 o'clock, and at least 10 seconds, and we currently not very dominant. The reason is that there are a lot of problems, for example, like from 0 to 1, like the RB Red Bull and the problem of the Eintrichten 0 seconds, and the 19 was for the EQ, like which has period. And another problem is that so 53 Marcus Classic and still delays like several seconds, like 1 minute, half and some. And huge problem is that the Mark processing has reversed the time to 1 minute. That's amazing. And I sent at 59, but the time already changed to 18 o'clock, and she reversed the sending time back to 59, and so that is kind of gemein. And the automat we already recorded, and there are several ways to solve the second problem, and you can buy the snacks, and which the smoothie-ized Twitter box chocolate will be very functioning, and you can win over. And otherwise they will say that you haven't tried it yet. And here is a little bit different, just like yes, still, but 19 was complete. So in this sense, 6 is still BQ, so to say, the Wanzhou. And yeah, I really, after them for so much, sometimes I cannot hold the energy. I should fall asleep. Photos will be ended. And so we just quiet back home, and at least within the time we haven't get started. And otherwise it's that a bit secure. And your professor was also there and saying, why you haven't saved me? And the problem is not about the monetary value, instead of it is because I haven't thought about the situation, and the whole time setting was be controlled by the Christian Veshek professor and those kind of dark characters, so to say. And yeah. So and they are saying, I feel like I cannot use these small techniques to trigger her anymore, because she is now back to the normal track. So I should pretend, so to say, that like as whether they all can trigger me my angry emotion, but the results is that I kind of, from the perspective of Yuziha, not care that much anymore. It's kind of like the BVL time, like BL time, BB time, and feels like 事不关己高高挂起. But I still got the cafe today, and because 不蒸馒头争口气, but I'm in the handy server that have a lot of problems, and you can using your game like manipulate the system time, that like worldwide that is the same time zone or same time settings according to different time zone, but you can still reverse that. And like today they have using that to make that effect. Let me thought whether they directly took money from my bank account, those kind of feeling. So it should like smoothly spend it, and not like have a big jump. And it's wow, tofu 藤原 tofu 店 tofu too. That was cool because yesterday the sand hours I know this channel from last year, and while examination preparation time period, I feel like very useful. And wow, Bochi. So tomorrow we don't have the class anymore. That's great. And the professor notes has said that her should have some big Gefei, like big dangerous situation and big dangers. And if you don't and care about them, for example, their struggle and their like will destroy the whole system. And so you should think about that. It doesn't mean that whether they are poor or not. And the reason is that in those kind of circumstances, they have no other choices, or to say that their mind was too strong and can in interference between the human computer and to control the system. And so that it means that they certainly not live in a welfare state, for example. And that's why. So my philosophy confronts this problem is to kind of ignore. The reason is if you don't give them focus on, then they don't gain power and then finally to reverse back to you. But the problem is that their fertility ratio is so high. That's why less than 1 second they can have a lot of repetitions and so one single sexual genes, for example. And that's why they can move to here, there, and to transform those kind of trick, to say. Also, they kind of like in society gains the reputation, I will say. That's why. Yeah. Okay, so just let's back and and have the 3 block thing, and then we certainly will see textual, but things Constantine left the 一频道, so I kind of not very drive it anymore. But otherwise, it is like my daily task. Also, because that was Qinanyang's major, was kind of like Medienwissenschaft journalism, and then switched to international politics, and that's why it's kind of interesting. Okay, cool. So see you guys then. Yeah. Yeah. There are time differences within the 2 screen, like cafeteria or front store. I haven't noticed that. And so to say, and today I bought the proficiency. I hope that proficiency gonna help, and yeah, they're still mattering the most, and that's why punk has also raised up and for €1 and some, because that really matters. Vorgang ist nicht möglich and means that automat directly in the faculty and means your exam or your study was not möglich, and that's serious, and that's why. Okay, so fine.